Welcome, my beautiful crew. After being apart for a couple of weeks, it feels incredible to be back together. Let's get comfy, catch up, and make the most of this time. We've got plenty to celebrate and share today.
Well, good afternoon, ladies.
Hello.
I was thinking that it was going to be fall.
What the heck happened?
Well, my boob sweat says something different.
My butt, my thigh, my everything.
As I sit here with drips going down my face.
Well, also it doesn't help that we've moved the studio upstairs. It's very luxurious. I mean, we will say that, but the AC is not working.
Yeah.
Boo. But hey,
we're still blessed.
we're pretty cool already.
So blessed.
God's reminding us why we don't want to go to hell.
I would have came dressed more like Andy if I would have known.
Yeah, she's nice and cool with her tank top and shorts.
Yeah. I'm all still in sweater weather.
Yeah.
In the heat of
the summer.
Yeah. It's supposed to be fall.
You've been pushing the fall thing. She's like,
we've been all over it. We're all over it.
I'm going to will it to fruition.
Yes. Guys, my house has been decorated for fall for a month.
She said since July.
I love how it looks in my house. It looks so nice, but
it's so cozy. I love fall.
Can't fire up anything. Can't get warm. I'm already hot.
Right?
Yeah. But
Can't
it's okay.
Fire.
It's all right.
It's okay.
It's all right.
So, gosh, I feel like it's been a minute for us ladies.
It has. You know, our wonderful Andy Gat's been on vacation.
Well,
let's hear about it.
It wasn't really vacation. Greg is always like, you need to clear that up.
She was working.
It was a workation.
It was a workation. I like that.
I feel like you guys got so much work done on this vacation.
We did. And more than anything, we needed to step away for a moment and kind of just collaborate between the two of us about the projects that we have going on and how we see our business growing from here and, you know, and just where we want to go with our clients and with really our service location. Like, do we want to expand and stay here, or do you want to just kind of Central Valley, Central Coast?
I get it.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
So
that's exciting.
amazing. Yeah.
Nothing like doing work and being right next to the ocean the whole time.
Oh my gosh.
Right?
That makes work so much better.
This is why writers, they either go like engulf themselves in the forest or they go to the beach to write.
Right.
Because, I mean, can you think of a more beautiful place? I mean, besides an island or something.
Something amazing.
I actually brought you another gift home. And it's
she
in
brought
my
us
glove
gifts.
compartment.
We had so many gifts already.
Had a couple. Yeah.
I know.
You have a scout bag, a canvas bag in my glove compartment. It's just been chilling in there because I didn't want it to get dirty.
Can I take it on my vacation?
No, that's a straight vacation, right?
It's a straight vacation. So tell us where you're going, what's going to happen. Tell us everything.
It's a solitudecation. Solitude. Bye.
Adam and I are going to Mexico. And we're going with his family. We're going on a cruise. We are leaving tomorrow morning in the a.m. very early, 2 days early, to go hang out with one of his friends and then aboard a big old ship. And I've never been on a cruise, so I'm very, very, very excited about going. A little nervous.
What are you nervous about?
Sharks.
Silly.
Titanic.
Is Leonardo going to be there?
It's like this. Jack.
You pinch poke Omiato.
Jack.
Come back.
Hold me, Jack.
Why didn't you just put him on the door with her?
She's a bitch.
Doors are big.
They're big.
I mean, and those, back then they were bigger than they are now.
Yeah, why did Jack die? It was totally should have happened
on his back or something while he did that.
Like one head at each end to kind of even out the weight. Like, what happened
Figure
to
it out.
Jack? Like, come
Figure
on,
it out,
it's like
lady.
ice cold, and he's just down there freezing. Jack.
It was a conspiracy.
That's what I'm saying. She's a bitch.
She's a bitch.
She offed him.
She used him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rose.
I'm dying with you. I'm getting my ass off this thing too. Like, what?
Well, I wouldn't go that far. We're gonna survive together. We're not dying together.
Rose has been voted off the island.
She has been.
She's done. She's done.
Bye, Rose.
You know, when I was 15, kind Gosh, I don't know if it's a trip when my mom ran away from home. But
the way we try to remember certain like landmarkers.
But we went, we ended up in Los Angeles down and with our family that lived down there. And I think it was either like we went deep sea fishing with Sid, or they got to go dune buggy with my Uncle Dwayne. And then for some reason I chose deep sea fishing.
Right.
And I remember being sick as a dog.
Well, yeah.
I mean, sick. And it was like a mile out. You got on a barge. I mean, my dad was like, you turned completely green. So I took the little boat back to the minivan and slept in the minivan all day long. I mean, but puked and puked and puked. And I remember still feeling like the minivan like this.
Oh my God.
So I think, and I was 15, so I'm sure I've, hopefully grown out of that, but I have a huge amount of Dramamine in my bag. Just in case.
She's Dramamine dealer.
Yes.
I went on a cruise back in 2017.
Does it shake a lot?
No. So I wasn't sick at all until one of the last days. We went to a steakhouse that was down kind of in the lower part of the cruise ship. And there was a bunch of mirrors in there. And it was hot. So I sat down. It was super hot. And I'm looking at the mirrors, and something about it made me super sick. And I'm like, I got to go. Like, I'm sorry, guys. Like, I can't continue this meal. I got to go. I went up to the room and I had Dramamine that I had packed. And I took a couple of them, went to sleep, woke up and was fine.
Yeah. I'm just going to take them like I would a vitamin, evidently. I think I'm going to start taking them Friday evening, like around 5:00. And we board the ship at like noon.
Right.
And I'm just I have enough for like 7 days. And I don't even think the ship is what scares me. It's the excursions.
Yeah.
So for some reason in my pea brain, right? Because I've never been snorkeling, but my vision of snorkeling was like, the mask with the little pipe coming out, walking out on the sandy beach and like sticking my face down there and looking at what's down there. But evidently it's a boat ride to the center of the ocean where you were going to just jump off. I'm worried about that boat ride.
Oh yeah. Well, I understand that because when we went to Kauai with the family, we,
Sorry.
Why are you laughing?
Inappropriate.
What the hell was funny about that?
Because in her head, she was thinking
Somewhere else.
about. Remember how we were making fun of her as a child? This is a thought that was just going through my head. She says, when I was in Kauai with my family. This one is like this.
I wasn't there for this trip, but my aunt was there. And I'll tell you afterward. But it more triggered a memory of hers. And I laughed because I don't know that you're going to like the story. So anyway,
She's not going to like the story. I'm going to say, yeah.
Right. I'm sorry. I did not mean to interrupt on that. I just laughed.
Is it okay, Andy, if I go?
Yeah, I'm sweating now.
Anyway, so we went to the Napoleon.
These also work as
Oh,
fans.
it's so freaking hot in here. I don't sweat, so I'm just overheating.
When I start taking off layers, we've got a problem.
If I start turning red, tell me to wash my face because I need a little coolant. Okay. So anyways, we took the kids to the Napoli coastline. That way we could, do it. It's beautiful. It's unbelievable looking. So we went out there and this boat was going so freaking fast through choppy water. And everybody on the boat started throwing up on the way to the Napoli coastline. So Jeremiah's getting sick. Hannah's getting sick. Katie's feeling sick. I look around and every person pretty much is throwing up. And I'm like, okay, this can't be good. I normally get super sick.
This can't be good.
Bob's like green, but he's not sick.
Oh, he didn't get it? He didn't
get sick. No. And then so I like hang out the boat and the wind is just hitting me in the face like crazy. And I managed to not get sick. And Jeremiah's like sick and I'm like putting a towel on his neck, like trying to get him to feel good. Ask him if he wants some crackers or something. And the kids all get mad at me because they're like, she always does this. Every time we're sick, she's trying to feed us or put a wet towel in us. Like, just leave us alone. Mm-hmm. So anyways, we got there. It was absolutely beautiful. But the kids and Bob went snorkeling and ended up being good for them because they got in that water and it cooled them off and they felt better.
I bet.
So the way home,
salt,
nobody got
too.
sick. But I don't swim like that. So I didn't jump in or do any of that. So I just kind of chilled out, on the boat and got my bearings.
You and me, girl, we're not going in the water.
Yeah.
We're good on the bow of the boat.
Yeah. So I was fine.
So one of our last port, the excursion, and we'll be with his aunt and uncle, and then his, I believe maybe his mom and Mark, I'm not sure, is like horseback, speedboat, snorkeling.
In one trip?
Yes.
How fun.
I'm just worried about like the speedboat through the ocean.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then sharks. So I Googled sharks.
Why would you do that?
Never Google sharks. It's I think it's a rule or a law maybe somewhere. You don't Google sharks.
Yeah. I don't know what came over me when I was like, oh, I wonder what scuba diving is like.
Definitely
and then
don't TikTok
I started
sharks.
looking at how they scuba dive in the middle of nowhere. I
With
was like,
the sharks.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's my vacation. Super excited.
So I gotta say, I had a friend say, "Hey, I'll actually buy your scuba license if you come with us to Fiji, right? But the catch is you have to go night diving with us." Okay, there's anybody that knows me knows I'm not going scuba diving for Fiji or not, even though it's literally at the top of my bucket list. And I'm especially not going night diving. They brought home photos of them chumming the waters with trash cans full of fish and things like that. And looking up, and they had a photographer with them, was a friend of theirs. And he was photographing up, and the amount of sharks that were up there. Why would you do that? Why do we need to
crazy?
go at night?
Because she's crazy.
Let's just turn the lights off just to make it extra. No, I'm good.
Google is so rad because if it wasn't for Google today, I would not have known that somebody was eaten by a shark in Mexico in 2023.
Aren't you lucky? Aren't you? More so this, if you're, my thing is, make sure you're safe. Like keep part of your group if you go snorkeling. That's what I was going to laugh.
One leg in the boat.
Seriously, my aunt, they are scuba divers. And that's why you guys were going to laugh because yes, they go to Mexico. They actually have a house there and they're probably there right now. But anyway, she went scuba diving and they were the only ones. They all got dumped off by the boat, like you were saying, and her buddy were whatever. And the guy, she goes down, and they don't tell her that they're leaving, and they left her in the water and drove away on the boat. Mind you, they don't speak English.
Heck?
And my aunt was left out in the water, and I'm gonna actually have her go in the comments on one of these posts and write, because she follows too, and write what really happened. But the story is intense. Like she got sunburned and. Like she didn't think they were coming back. Like she's in Mexico, you know what I mean? And she's scuba diving.
That's crazy.
So you never
Where were the people she was scuba diving? These are
Who the hell
friends
are
of
her
hers?
friends?
on the boat. Oh wait, no, she's very independent, and she decided she's a scuba diver, so she decided to go scuba diving.
So with
with
nobody
a
she knew.
group
Oh,
of
okay.
people. When they finally went back, and I think they went through the names and stuff, and her name didn't pop up. That's when they knew. But she'd been out there for
And
how
they were
long
like,
by
oh
then?
shit.
I think she'll tell you it was hours, like all day. Like she was out there
That's
all day.
so scary.
What's the shark from Finding Nemo? What's his name?
Chum.
No, that's like the third time you've said that. Chum.
Is that really his name? Chum?
Isn't it? Chum?
The fish?
The shark.
shark? I don't know.
From
Chumming the waters is like putting like fish in the water to chum them.
Oh.
But I thought his name was Chum or like or something like that.
So all I can imagine when we talk about scuba diving and sharks is the shark. And then what's his name?
Bruce.
Bruce.
Bruce, and he's a great white shark.
What are his friends' names?
Bruce is the leader of the fish-friendly sharks.
Yeah.
And is known for his line, "Fish are friends, not food."
Yes.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah.
I could just
Have you
see
seen the movie?
sharks. Yeah, a million times, but
Okay.
I could not think of Bruce's name.
They're friends, not food, until they became food.
Oh, wait,
Yeah,
his
not
other friend, his
last.
name is Chum.
Thank you.
His other friend is Chum.
Oh my God. How weird is
I would
that?
like to
Okay.
say that Andy was correct. That was classic.
So if
Yay! I'll do
I
it
was
for
a
the
shark,
button.
I would be like, hey, lunchtime,
Yes.
scuba divers.
See that boat?
Yeah.
I'd skip over your ass. You're too skinny now. I'd need something that's going to last me past lunch.
You just need to outswim someone else that's
I'm
bigger
not
than
even
you.
a snack.
If I'm out there, they're like meaty.
You're the toothpick. They're like,
Oh, no.
Gina.
What about you?
what? I would be meaty. He would be like, hey, I'm eating this bitch.
How was your week?
Oh, gotcha. My
She
week,
said, I'm bigger than a Kit Kat.
I'm thicker than a Snicker. So my week was good. I just got us a new corporate office for Relic, so that was great. It was
and what an office, might I say. I haven't even seen it yet, but Greg's rendition of his experience there and what he sees going on there and how you have set that place up.
It's exciting. We're set up to do big things. So it was a lot of work in a very short amount of time, but that's how I like to operate. And now, like when you go into my personal office, feels like, Dracula's lair, which is exactly what I like.
He said it was huge.
It's dark
Huge
and dingy.
and dark. And I have like my little lavender diffuser going, and I got just dim lights in there.
So that's what I think we should do in
all
here.
my dark wood. I like everything like peaceful.
Make it look like a massage room.
Oh,
yeah, that's exactly how it looks actually.
Yeah.
And my thing is, because I do have ADHD, I like to be very focused when I'm working. So like I turn my phone off as far as like for like I just put it on do not disturb, and my light on my computer is all the way down dim. I have special glasses that are the blue light glasses
See-through.
that are see-through, that at the bottom it has my readers. So I love it because I'm like in the zone. So when I walk in to the time I leave, all I'm doing is work. That way I'm not taking it home with me. But in that time frame, I cannot be disturbed because I have to focus and get what I would normally do in a large period of time spread out in a day in that time frame. Because I don't want to do work outside of the office anymore.
What a cool way to leave it there, though, because
Yeah.
it's such like
Check out.
Yeah, it's when it's time to clock out, like you're really clocking out of an environment there.
Exactly. And I'm gearing up, as you guys know, I'm not working nights, not working weekends. I'm hoping that Fridays will be a thing, that I don't work Fridays. We'll see. Especially when I'm opening stores, it'll be a little different, but I love it. I already know that this is so much better, and it's a nice balance, which, as we've talked about a million times, everything's about balance.
Well, he was even saying that the girls have their own offices and stuff. I can just imagine how much work they'll be able to get, like with the quiet in their office, and they can make phone calls and things like that.
Yeah,
Just
no distractions.
counting and all
And
that.
no distractions from each other, and it's not
Oh, that
always,
too.
it's
Yeah.
not, at first I'm sure it's not looked at as a good thing for them because, you're used to the chit chat of the office. But we're not getting things done properly. And the best way to get things done is to be focused on our tasks and not on talking. So, it's tough though, because, it has been such an easy, lax environment prior.
Right.
But, it's not that it's not a nice environment. It's an amazing environment, but we need to be focused on work and in our zones.
And it gives them something to be proud of too. They have their own office, and you know what I mean? Like
Their
they
names
deserve
on the
their
door.
own office.
Yeah,
so.
and their names are on the door. Everybody has their area, their job duties. We're not stepping on each other's toes. Everybody in the company knows what these people's duties are. So it's really important.
They can visit when they want.
Yeah, and
Love it.
it's just a tough
On their
transition.
lunch break.
Yeah.
No,
it's fine.
well, and it's a tough transition,
I'm sure.
and change is hard, especially as we get older. But we just have to do it, and we have to do it in the best way possible.
Well, it was time for Relic to grow.
Yeah.
It was you
It's
guys
time.
weren't being efficient in that
Yeah.
building anymore. It's a warehouse now.
It's exactly.
Exactly.
So, and then also, this last 2 weeks, I've been going through it. I told you guys how kiddingly, Gina made fun of me when we were setting up the studio.
It was not poking fun.
She was too.
It was concern.
She was making fun of me.
I thought you were going to pass out.
I know. We carried up the table. I was
We had
out of
carried
breath.
up 8 chairs
And a
up the
big,
flight
heavy
of stairs
table,
and
yeah.
a giant heavy table plus all the equipment.
Yeah.
But like she was really, 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 really huffing and puffing, and I thought she was gonna fall over.
I was literally like,
I'm gonna have to. She was.
And she goes,
It was
have you
concern.
gotten the shot yet?
The shot. What shot?
Well, I've been talking for a while about getting on Wegovy or Ozempic. I wasn't sure, and anybody that knows me knows I'm scared of medicine. Like I don't take medicine unless I absolutely have to. I'm always like Google is not my friend when I'm taking anything because I'm going to go down the rabbit hole of what's going to happen to me. So, anyways, I've been suffering for the last 2 years with constant weight gain since I've been going through perimenopause. And, you know, it's been this really uphill battle for me along with other things. And, so I weighed 2 weeks ago. I'm 4'11". I weighed 181, which is insane. The most I've ever weighed is 160 pregnant. And that was my heaviest. So it is disappointing, not just from a physical standpoint, looking at me, how I feel about myself. It's disappointing because I'm 46. I'm a grandma now. I want to be healthy physically,
Yes.
mentally, everything. I want the whole package. I want to look good. I want to live for a long time. So, you know, I had went to the doctor. I'd been going to the doctor for other things. And, you know, I asked him his opinion on the weight loss shot. And he said, absolutely, you need to go on it.
So I wasn't picking on her, but
She cares.
what happened was we had talked about this. She got the prescription last year.
Yes.
And could not pull the trigger on it, right?
Yes.
And it's like you have to get to a point where you're like so done, it doesn't matter. You're jabbing yourself.
And I was 160 last year. I gained 20 pounds in 1 year.
Yeah. So that was more my comment. Like, are you going to pull the trigger on this, or are you going to keep suffering?
Well, I think that we kind of talked about that. It's like whether you agree with the shot or not. And I'll be honest, I kind of don't ever, I mean, and I've done some things to myself that are like questionable when it comes to that. So by looking at that, you wouldn't think that I have this view. But to be honest with you, like you get to a point where you have to start weighing it out. It's like, are you going to be able to fix it or are you not? And if you're not, then you might need some assistance, regardless where that assistance comes from or where you think it should come from.
So can I start doing cocaine?
Well, you know, I mean, it is an option.
I'm just kidding.
It is America.
It's a risk reward thing, right? It's like, you know, my thing is I was telling my daughter, Katie, and my daughter, Hannah, that I've been having issues where I just don't feel like I'm breathing good. And, you know, I'm asthmatic anyways, and I have this whole arthritis issue. So I know that that's not good, right? And even though I walk every day, I do whatever, I have not been breathing right. And I'm not sleeping right. Like I wake up gagging sometimes. So I think that I'm getting a little bit of sleep apnea because I'm fat. Like that's the reality. Like it doesn't matter what anybody else's perception of me is. I know the reality. The reality is I'm not healthy right now.
And it's you and it's your body and you have to wake up and you have to go to sleep and deal with it. And that was one of like, my biggest thing is I've been heavy my whole life. And
since childhood.
Yeah.
No, since
like
Marcus.
Since pregnancy.
Late teens too, though, right?
Not in high school.
Not at all?
No, I weighed probably 145.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And then before Marcus, I probably weighed 120 when I got pregnant with Marcus.
Oh, that's right. Because you had went to Mexico and were sick. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I know what it feels like to have being heavy and being overweight. And people are always like, oh, nobody looks at you different. They do.
They do.
100%.
100%.
Right. And it was me. I went to sleep every night and it was the only thing on my mind. It ate at me and ate at me and ate at me. It was there in the morning. It was there when I went to work. It was there. It was always on my mind, my weight. I would buy anything if I thought I was going to, if it was going to make it like it was, I was looking for a magic pill.
Right.
I really was. If it was the exercise machine, the $3,000 treadmill I wouldn't get on, I'd buy it to make myself feel better, use it for 2 weeks. And now it just sits in my garage.
Hangs clothes
Maybe
on it.
it's a squat machine and I have that. Oh, you know what? I used to love rowing in high school. Now I have a row machine. You know, I would never get on it. If it was a diet pill, I was trying to get on it, like anything. And it's just because I wasn't ready yet. Right. But it ruled my whole entire world. Every view I had about anything had to do with me being heavy. Right?
Right.
My perception of everything.
Talk us through that though. Like, what do you mean? Give us some
Everything.
examples. Like go through your day, waking up in the morning.
Me and Monica going to Vegas.
Yeah. I was just thinking that in my head because Gina has sent me over the last year during her weight loss journey, sent me pictures of us in Vegas at different times. And she'd be like, can you believe like how heavy I was here? Like, can you believe that to me? And it's, you know, I'm always like, I just didn't see you like that.
I didn't
like
see
in
it
my
like that
mind
either.
I didn't see it like that. But obviously now I see the total change. But then I thought, you know, when we were young going to Vegas, you must have fucking hated going with me at certain times. Cause now being in my skin now, if I was going with somebody like me at that time when I was like bodybuilding and shit like that,
you're tiny.
I would have been like this bitch, like, and probably complaining, going, oh, these pants don't fit quite right or whatever. Like somebody stabbed this
You
little
didn't
baby.
really ever complain though. I never heard you complain
No,
about
I'm
your
saying
pants and
like
stuff.
me complaining.
But it was
Right,
still
but I mean,
hard,
she never
even
complained about
quietly
this.
inside of my head.
Right,
It
yeah.
was like, what do I wear? Now, I've got 2 clothing stores that I can go to, Lane Bryant or Torrid, right? What size am I going to be this time? Am I still a size 20? Nope. Oh, went up to a 22. You know, then I'm at Joann's buying bra clips to make my 44 around my waist fit instead of, because I
Right.
just can't bring myself to buy a 46. And mind you, my boobs are a C cup. So it's not like I have giant knockers, right? This is just around my waist.
Right.
So every thought was being big. Every thought was food.
Because you had to accommodate for it in a sense, right?
And it didn't matter. How is this going to go? Even, you know, when we were in Vegas this last year, it's like sitting down and having somebody, they treat you different. Everybody looks at you different, but that's my perception of like how I felt about it. Right.
And I remember being with her and, you know,
But I think that's true. They do.
I remember being with her and thinking like Gina would say, I'm like, what is she talking about? Like, she looks beautiful. She's so pretty. She's so funny. But then she would start acting
unhealthy,
and she would act weird. Like in a social situation, she'd start acting like a weirdo. I'm like, why is she fucking acting like that? And like, I know now because she was so uncomfortable and she felt like people were judging her and they probably fucking were.
Oh, 100%.
yeah.
And
100%.
you know, you just have a different perspective. Like, you know, when you're in somebody else's shoes, you don't know till you're in somebody else's shoes. And I feel like the last 2 years I've been in those shoes and it opens up my eyes so much and I have so much more empathy. And, you know, anybody who's been thin their whole life and gotten heavy, I think they understand. I think they get it. Like, wow.
You have to, but then people will never know.
Never.
They'll never know. And you can't even like assume or, and they can't say like, I know people who are big and then make fun of themselves as humor to cope.
Well, yeah, because they're trying to cover.
Right?
Yeah.
And people that, I mean, regardless, you have to be ready. You have to be ready. And I talked to another one of my friends not too long ago because I went to work and then I had these people come in and they were kind of making some comments at me and telling my story back to me. And I'm wondering, I didn't tell you that story.
Right.
Where did you hear that story from?
Why
like,
are you
it's my
telling
story
me
to
my
tell.
story?
Yeah. But I don't really know where I was going with that. My friend had the gastric bypass, which is a extremely hard surgery. The amount of discipline that people who are going to participate in that surgery have to go through months before. And they have then that for like a month before the surgery itself, they have to do liquid diets only. And then after, it's like you have to be so disciplined, right? And you have to change your behavior. You have to change your lifestyle and the way you view food. Because I've seen it both ways, right? I've seen it work because they worked it. And I've seen it fail because they thought it was magic.
Right.
Right. So the same as like with me, I did last January. So January of 2023. So it's been right. Or this year.
It was this year.
Oh my God, this year, January of this year. When it all started with me falling down my stairs. Charlotte was chasing
that.
underneath me and I step over her so I didn't get hurt and just like boom, probably
Your knee.
6 steps.
So you started the shot when we went to Vegas last year,
Yes.
right? Because you had just started it then. 'Cause
Yes.
you had already lost some weight when we went to Vegas.
No, it was before that. So
Okay.
we went in July.
Right.
So January
Was when you started. Right.
I fall on my knee, but my whole side of my body swells
Right.
to the point where it's so swollen. I'm driving myself constantly to the emergency room.
It was scary looking.
It was huge.
Yeah.
I would push my butt all the way against the wall and my legs straight up and then have this roller thing to try to get the fluid out of my legs because I thought I'm going to get blood clots from this. And it was just one side. My lower half was always been prone to swelling. My mom would be like, elephantitis. That's what it looks like.
Gail.
Right.
Gail. Such a Gail thing.
Yeah, I know.
So I would go and they would do an ultrasound, make sure I didn't have any clotting going on, but nobody could really tell me anything. And, I had a kind of moment with somebody, and then that was it for me. Like I was done. Actually, this is how it went.
Tell the truth.
Yeah,
Tell the
let's
fucking
be
truth.
real. Be real about it.
I went to the doctor, and a cute little Indian doctor, young. I love her. She's still my doctor to this day. The first day I saw her, I probably was not very happy with her because I was really feeling my pity. And I was like, she's like, what's going on? And I was like, I'm fat and I want diet pills. I don't sleep at night, so I want sleeping pills. I think I'm depressed, so I want depression pills. Like, give me it all. Like, I want all of the things. Like, give it to me. I want to go to bed. I want to shut all my windows and I want to go to sleep and I don't want to wake up. I'm so over this.
Right.
Like, I'm done with this battle. I'm done with what it does to my head. I'm done with everything. And so she kind of stood there and she was like, can I ask you about your daily habits? And I'm like,
well, did you hear what I just said to you? I'm done.
what? I wake up. I do 2 businesses. I've got 4 kids, 4 grandkids. I've got not at the time, but I have 2 grandkids. I have all these things going on.
Well, you weren't exactly eating bonbons on the couch watching soap operas.
No, I wasn't.
You know what I mean? You were very active.
I couldn't get it off. I just couldn't get this weight off. And the more I focused on getting the weight off, the more weight I put on.
Yes.
Right? It's just a vicious
Cortisol
cycle.
is a real thing.
And so she's like, in your daily activity, and she's like, well, as far as like depression goes, if maybe you did like a 30-minute walk a day, and I'm like, next.
I work how many hours
30-minute walk. Yeah. I don't even want to walk. I want to go to bed. Do you hear me? Give me a pill kind of thing. Right.
Right.
And then like your food, you should be like Mediterranean diet and this and that. And maybe you're sleeping. Well, if you were exercising, you'd be sleeping better. And if you're outside, the sun would make you feel better and you wouldn't be depressed. And I'm like, okay, this was not helpful.
It was like Monica
but thank
said,
you.
right?
Thank you. Peace out. And she's like, but what I will do is, let's do your blood work. I'm going to send you to an endocrinologist, yada, yada, yada. We check my hormone panel. And that kind of started it. Went to the endocrinologist. I'm on all the wrong thyroid medicine. He puts me on 3 brand new one. Weight starts coming off. Mm-hmm. At that point, I started researching Wegovy. And I went back to Carolyn and I said, I need you to prescribe me this. And she said, if you can get your insurance to cover this for you, I will prescribe it to you. And I'm like, I'll pay cash. I don't care. She said, get your insurance to cover it. So it took me like a month and a half of begging, pleading, and crying on the phone. Ended up getting the right lady on the phone with me.
Literally crying on the phone to the lady?
I was. I mean,
be real with the listeners so they know what to do.
I was literally crying. Like I knew I needed this. And I got this one lady and she's like, girl, I got your back on this one. And she got it approved for 4 months.
Wow.
So Wegovy goes up a dose every month. So you jab yourself once a week. I got 4 months. And then I was so scared that I was going to fail. The 5th month I paid for, which if anybody knows anything about Wegovy, it's $1,990
for 1 month.
Wow.
For 1 month.
That's
and I paid for it. And then I was like, okay, I can't do that again.
Yeah.
Like who can afford that?
Yeah.
Nobody can afford
It's
that.
outrageous.
And then I met Adam, and Adam was doing only carnivore. I had spoke with my endocrinologist about my like stomach issues I have. And, we did some testing on my gut health and found out that I'm missing enzymes that help break down food. So that was helpful. And
you would literally get sick in the middle of eating.
Oh,
she
yeah.
she would just be
All the
chewing.
time.
Remember, she would
Oh,
just be
I just
chewing
puke forever.
Yeah. She would just
That's
be
my
chewing.
whole
I just want the
life.
listeners to know
Yeah.
like what she went through
Yeah.
when it came to that. It wasn't like
It
she
was a
was
major
just shoving
thing.
food in her
Yeah.
face. She
Mm-mm.
was very particular.
How much did you lose your first 3 months on Wegovy?
So here's the thing is I was also on new thyroid medicine.
So that was a big help.
So it was a big help too, because you have to remember from this journey started in January.
Mm-hmm.
I did not get the shot, did not start until March.
Okay.
So I had already been on thyroid medicine.
Right.
I'm going to say with just the thyroid, I had lost about 18 pounds.
Okay.
And then Wegovy was slower, but it just started, I want to say when it really started just melting off of me, because I saw a picture of me it wasn't this year. It was last year.
It was last year.
Yeah.
That's what. Yeah.
Last September.
I was going to say, because we went last year
Yeah.
to Vegas.
In last September, I saw a picture and I was a size 16 in September.
Mhm.
So March, April, May, June, July, August, I bought myself.
The one.
That was it.
right.
The rest had to be me.
Yeah.
But by then I was pretty much only eating meat, cheese, eggs,
Right.
and crab.
So what you did is you took that situation, you created all these good habits during it. So when it came time not to take the
Exactly.
medication anymore, you were already set up.
Yeah. But it wasn't easy.
And
There's
that's like
not,
detoxing the
Yeah.
whole time too.
I
'cause
don't
you're
like
eating that way.
eggs. I never liked meat.
She was never.
Girl, I know
She was
you.
like vegetarian.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sorta.
So it was-
Kind of, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For a while.
Because even when I was vegetarian,
Mhm.
you weren't, but you still ate
turkey,
easily what
Yeah.
I ate.
ground beef and turkey. But I mean, it's hard getting up in the morning and frying yourself a hamburger patty and an egg and then eating that for breakfast.
Right.
But when you start losing the weight and then you realize that like my obsession with food, it's not a thing. Like now I eat and I feed my body. It's not something I think about anymore. Like I literally ate it like a pound of chicken this
You
morning.
eat to live, not live to eat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So I don't have to have, and something funny is I don't like chocolate, but Maddie,
What?
I know.
Like, that's the candy that I love.
I
Oh
don't-
my gosh, girl.
I don't like
I'm a
chocolate.
sucker.
Maddie brought me a chocolate yesterday because I was being a horrible bitch, I think. And I was like, I just need chocolate. And she was like, oh my God. She brought me like this little Snickers. And I haven't had chocolate like that in so long.
Mm-hmm.
All I could taste was the chemicals.
Oh, and
Really?
a Snickers is terrible. Yeah.
I was like, this
Oh.
is so, I couldn't even chew
You
it all.
hear
I had
us Snickers? No, I'm just kidding.
I was like, this does not taste like when I was in high school drinking Pepsi and Snicker
No.
bars.
Well, neither do the new cupcakes from Hostess. They're crap.
Mm.
They're terrible.
So I think you really just have to like, it's not a magic pill. It was so helpful. I would do it over and over. And I would tell anybody, if you're healthy, healthy enough and your doctor says that this is something for you, that they think that you could be successful at, I would recommend it 1,000%. I would do it over and over again. It has changed my life. I've gone from, let's say, 258 pounds to about 135.
Crazy. That's so awesome.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
So,
Warrior.
and it changes how you view things now,
Yeah.
right? It changes
Like everything.
how people look at you, how much more respect they treat you with. I mean, they assume then because I was heavy or fat or whatever you want to call it, that I was lazy or that I was, sitting in my closet eating, a pound of cake.
Right.
But that's not the
or
fact.
on the flip side, deserved some sort of pity, which is not what you wanted
No.
either. You know what I
No.
mean? Which a lot of people would say, oh, she
It's
needs
such a
compassion. But
shitty ass stereotype.
Yeah.
And now when I see people that are big or struggling, like I just want to go around and help everybody. I
it's
just
kind of like when she said, "When are you going to get the shot?"
It's because I love you.
It's because she loves me. But no, my thing is that I want to be completely transparent in this. I want our listeners to go through the journey with me. And, they got to hear your weight loss story. And I want to take them on my journey. So 2 weeks ago, I weighed myself. I was 181. That was my breaking point. Went to the doctor. I started low carb. I lost 7 pounds. Today, I started the shot. I told Gina, like, I practically gave myself a panic attack, giving myself the shot because I don't like drugs and it scares me. So I did it. It wasn't as easy as I thought it was going to be. I put it in there. It was hurting like a sucker. And it's supposed to like turn yellow, and it wasn't turning yellow. So like I took it off, and then I like redid the alcohol swab.
What it looks like, but don't
It's
you
pretty big.
pull the cap and unlock it and jab yourself?
No, it's different. So the one that I have, it's still a Wegovy one, but it you take the cap off, and then you put your alcohol swab wherever you're going to put it. Then you push it, and you have to push it super hard. So I wasn't pushing it hard enough. So the needle was going in and hurting me, but like nothing was coming out. So when I took it out, I was like, okay, what's going on here? So I like reread the instructions that were really lame, and I should be able to figure it out. So I did it another spot. Then I did it super hard, and it turned yellow. It clicked, then it turned yellow, and then it clicked again. And I thought it was like pretty much done. And I took it out, and a little bit came out. So I realized I didn't keep it in quite long
10
enough.
seconds after the second clip.
Yeah. So I needed to like chill a little bit longer. So I think I lost a little bit, but it wasn't like a huge amount or anything.
And it's such a low dose. And what I did, how do you feel?
I feel fine. At first I was really like nerved up. It had nothing to do with the shot. It was the anxiety I was giving myself by doing the shot, it not going right. It kind of hurt because of the way I did it.
It'll become like second nature.
Exactly. So I was like, that's the only thing that didn't feel right. But I've been totally fine. I've been peeing a little bit more than normal, but I feel great. And I definitely don't feel hungry.
I'm going to say like my first week was just fine and I didn't feel anything. The second week I had like a constant gaggy feeling. And I YouTubed everything. Like I tried to do all of my research and YouTubed and TikTok,
I'm choosing not to.
Any information that I could find that could help me. So by the second week I was feeling nauseous and gaggy. And that happened probably for like 2 weeks. And it was the advice that people were giving is like, if you give yourself the shot on Monday, spend like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, eating a lot of protein.
Okay.
And then you won't get sick. And so
that makes sense.
That was helpful because it was just helping me change my, my eating habits.
Right.
So
I was thinking that I'm going to, Gina and I do that bag IV therapy about once a month where we go in. I
Like
get
a vitamin bag?
Yeah, it's like a vitamin IV and it has like B12, other stuff in it. And so I was thinking that I would do that every, week, do the small bag and do it with Zofran in it if I start feeling sick, if it becomes a thing. Because a lot of people say that they feel super nauseous on it.
Just do all the protein because then it takes
then
it away.
It's no issue. Okay.
As soon as it took it, the reason I said I was sick for like 2 weeks because then I was starting to do all the research. Like, why is this?
So
what
that's
can I do? And as soon as I started just loading up on my protein, then I was fine. Yeah. We can't all just be naturally beautiful.
It's not like
Look
that.
at you just sitting there, all beautiful.
I have my own story, actually.
Tell us.
Let's hear it.
So after I grew up too skinny. I grew up all through high school and school. I mean, you think it's a gift,
And that's hard too.
Girl,
like that is hard
it's a
too.
struggle for
you would get those little round, perfect little what used to be, bouncy cheerleaders. Go, ew, you're so skinny, like as if it was a compliment, and you're just like, thanks. I mean, like that's not attractive as a woman. You know what I mean? I used to joke and say that in high school, I had no butt. So I started drinking weight gainer and started like squatting and doing leg presses and doing all this stuff. And out came this pow, right? I got a little booty and I had stretch marks and everything. But I used to joke and say that if I were to put a bag on my head and take off my shirt, I could play skins and shirts with guys. And you would never be able to tell the difference in my chest because I had pecs, really. I worked out so much that I wore like basically like a nearly A bra in high school. So I was very small. And then I got pregnant with Jason and everything was fine, but I had undiagnosed gestational diabetes. And while he ended up being 10.4, I ended up packing on 60 pounds.
Wow.
And I lost that weight. It was not easy. I just kind of went back to my old eating habits. So I guess that part was easier, but I ended up gaining that weight back and then superseded it and ended up going up to, I said 200, but it was just under. And it was like 198 or something, 195. And at that point, girl, seriously, I was like busting out of a 16. I'm 5'6", and I weighed at my heaviest that much. And I was in a like I said, pushing out of a 16. So, I mean, going to places like, what was it? Not Torrid, but what's the other one?
Lane Bryant.
That was the only place that was open at the time. And I remember going, well, at least they've got cute stuff that I could wear. No, like once that settles in and you realize that you're like on the lower end of that in size, but still you're limited everywhere else.
Yeah.
And you never really had that problem before. Like all of a sudden your self-esteem is gone.
Yeah, because Target didn't have a big girl section. Like nowhere had big girl sections. You know, even now, if I went to Victoria's Secret, now you can buy, you know, bigger sizes.
Right.
When then I couldn't even like pass by there.
Now they glorify being unhealthy that way instead
It's
of
the
just
opposite.
accommodating.
It's
for
literally the
transition.
opposite of the way it was.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So anyway, I ended up, girl, I had a best friend at the time, man. We were Tyboing our butts off. Remember Tybo?
Oh, yeah.
Oh my goodness. I lost so much weight with that. That Tybo was a huge part of it. I would Tybo until I thought I was going to have a heart attack. Like I just was. Tybo. What was it? Billy Blanks.
Billy Blanks.
I can't forget that name. Dude, he killed us. But aside from that, I remember taking Herbalife.
I used to love Herbalife.
It's so bad for your heart.
Is it really?
Oh my gosh. The things that they came out about it are shocking. I couldn't tell you. Just look it up afterward. I think even like, and correct me if I'm wrong.
That's what I was taking.
That's
That's what I was taking when I had my heart thing. I had lost some weight then, and I got down under 130.
You should look up and see if they have any class action lawsuits and
Dude,
stuff like
that's
that, because I
crazy.
took it also.
That's what I was bringing my mom every day because that's all she could really wanted to eat. And it wasn't for weight loss. It was just because that's what soothed her stomach. Yeah.
And then after that, I kind of settled somewhere around 160, 155-ish. I tend to wear it well. I just kind of, and that's not a compliment. I just met people be like, no way, you look great. No way. I am unhealthy. Trust me. I wear like a 3 3/4 ring size, and I have no business being that size. Let's just be honest about it. You know what I mean? There's no way that that's healthy in any shape of the word. And so when I met Greg, your brother, I was like, he said something to me about, because he knew that I was having issues with my health. And at the time I thought, like I had been diagnosed with gestational diabetes that turned into type 2 diabetes, which we all just know means that I was not eating properly and not taking care of myself. And I'd been drinking too much. I was smoking at the time, and just anything bad that I could do to myself. And then I met him, and he mentioned Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead, which was Joe Cross. And he knew that I wanted to.
Love that documentary.
I know. And he knew that I wanted like something big. I had friends that were juicing and they were detoxing their kids. Naturally, I'd already done that with my own son. And I thought, why not? You know what I mean? So I went on some juice excursion. I can't remember. It was like 38 days, 45 days.
Wow,
I drank I've juiced green juice. Really, it was kale and apples.
When your mom and dad were
celery
doing
and
that.
lemon. Yeah, it was not the tasty juice. I mean, I'd still juice, but at the time it was just green juice. And I did it for that many days. And basically it's like a reboot for your body. So I just approached my weight loss, the rest of my weight loss that way. When I rebooted my body and I got rid of some of the disease that I had, it seemed like my body just sort of fell into place. And this is sort of where I ended up. And now I'm polishing. I need to polish up. We just started doing this like animal workout flow kind of thing where it's like this, it has a lot to do with stretching and yoga and stuff.
While you're doing it?
You might as well be.
just see
You
them.
might as well be, seriously.
Wow.
It's like Ace Ventura when they're around the fire.
It has to do with like flexibility and like moving slow.
I'm like
and
looking at her and I'm like, yes, I want to do that also.
I will
What is
send you
this?
videos. You're
Hold on.
Chicken wow.
She said we've been doing this animal yoga.
It's getting hot in here.
So we're separate doing it.
We need another one of those that says it's getting
hot in here.
I haven't started mine yet, but the video.
Greg's over there doing this all by
He's
himself.
like, what? You're going to
What's
video
different?
it? We won't be videoing anything. No, I'll send you the
J-Lo.
guy that's doing that. Speaking of J-Lo, girl.
Girl, this
That
shit
butt.
is getting real.
I have obsessed about her. Okay, listen, that's the only compliment I can super give myself when it comes to the womanly body thing. I had that upside down heart butt.
So cute.
I
Yeah.
probably could. I won nicest underground polls at school, nicest butt or nicest ass. Did I whisper it?
Nicest ass.
Nicest ass. Does it make it less sinful if I'm whispering? Anyway, I won.
God hears you.
I know, right? I think he knows my heart, what I'm trying to say.
You, if you know what I'm saying.
And
Doing all that animal yoga.
Animal yoga, my ass.
I know, right? Okay, now I need to fan
We call
myself
that
again.
sex where I come from, but okay, cool. I'm glad you guys are bonding.
Animal flow. It's animal flow.
Sorry.
That's what you want to call
It's
it.
literally like animal sex yoga.
Oh my gosh, I'm dying now.
He like claws her.
I got her leg over.
It's like dancing meets jujitsu meets kata
His
meets
mouth's
yoga.
up on her neck against the wall.
Oh
I
my
get it.
gosh. Oh my gosh.
It's the fox and the
There will
hound.
not be
Now,
any video.
now we know what they were doing on their workation.
We were working on our animal flow. No, just
So classic. So
I will
classic.
tag the guy that we follow though. He's really good and you guys will love him. He really is. You'll love him. Speaking of which, we didn't get a chance to really touch on anything that happened in Morro Bay. And I just wanted to kind of tell a couple stories. So we got to see the not typical, it's such a cool thing, the humpback whales and all that.
Oh, wow.
So they were beautiful. They were all spraying and breaching and they were so cool. But I am just feeling where I'm at. I'm in Morro Bay. They just opened a new Scout Coffee location in Morro Bay.
Favorite.
Oh my gosh, we will definitely shout them out down below.
Who's taking me to Scouts? Is it
No, we're
Scouts?
just taking you there in general. So I'm going to actually try to talk to my aunt to see if we can take a vacation, just the three of us to go there.
What?
Scout Coffee is amazing.
If you hear me, Aunt June, I'm going to be asking you this.
Please,
very
Auntie
soon.
June.
Right? And it's their beach house. So we just absolutely love it. Big shout out to the Ortmans and Kern Sprinkler for letting us use that house pretty much anytime we want to. And
Wow.
and we just love them so much for contributing to and supporting our family that way. But anyway, so I go walking into Scout, feeling it. I mean, I'm at the beach.
Because they just opened one in Morro Bay. Because before that,
Tell it.
we would have
Yeah.
to drive to
Slow.
Okay. I've never been to Slow.
Oh my
Well,
God,
fun
I
fact.
love it.
Okay, I sent her a thing saying she needs to open pizza there, like in Slower and Morro Bay.
Yes.
Seriously, it would go off. In
Yeah.
Pismo, Avila. She
All
would
of
go
them are
off
just so
in,
beautiful.
in Avila, and it's super
Yeah.
high ritzy and
So
Nice.
before we would have to drive from Morro Bay, you would have to drive
Mm-hmm.
into Slow to get Scout Coffee.
Right.
which we love.
Yeah.
we love Slow, but
Yeah.
but then you're in downtown and you're away from the beach, and then we have
Right.
to go back to the beach.
But you're
and-
literally, the house is like 2 minutes from the beach. So they could just like drive straight down and go to Scout now. So
Right. It's right there on the
Yeah.
way, really. And so what they did was they took over an old school bank. So it still has the vault in there and stuff, but they now roast all I almost said brew. They roast all their coffee there. They bake all their goods there.
Wow.
Greg ordered a croissant, like a Danish with fresh strawberries and I don't know if it was a Bavarian cream inside, but it was really light and not over sweetened. Oh,
Okay, this
You
isn't
should've
helping
seen-
my diet.
yeah, right. Well,
I'm
if
not
you're-
supposed to be thinking
I'll be
about
honest with you.
food.
So let's be honest. So about this, you're eating very quality food because that was all you can just they're top of the line. So if you're going to eat well. You know what I mean?
Right.
Don't skip do it on the junk stuff.
Yeah.
But I go walking in there, man. I am feeling it. I'm so happy to be there. I'm like, I have arrived. I am in my place, in my zone. I was walking up there, and we had to wait for a little while. And as I'm walking up and kind of like brushing the hair out of my face a little bit, and it's always tickling my face, and I am the OCD paranoia part of me is like, oh my gosh, I have a bug on me, but I've learned to kind of go calm down. It's probably just your hair. Don't stress about it. Right. So this time I just tell myself, quit being a weirdo. Like, don't brush the hair out of your face really rapidly.
Sometimes I do that when I'm next to you. It's just your hair on my face.
100%. I do it to your brother all the time. He's constantly like, I love your hair, but so anyway, I don't make too much of a scene trying to brush my hair out of my face just because, like I said, I'm doubting myself. And the girl behind the counter's eyes get so big. She just opens her eyes. Just they get slowly bigger and bigger and bigger. And I'm just kind of looking at her like,
What?
you going to tell a joke? Like, what's going to happen right now? All right. And all of a sudden she goes, you have a spider on your face.
Oh my God. I am scared to death of spiders.
I'm not joking when I say that at that moment, I feel it crawl across the side of right next to my eye.
Oh
right
my
to my
gosh.
eye. And I don't know what happens in your head. You know, you see those TikToks and they punch themselves in the face or whatever, slap the crap out of themselves. So I thought for sure that I probably would do that because I'm terrified of spiders. But for a split second, what goes through your head is, okay, I have one opportunity and one opportunity only to get this off of me successfully before.
And you don't want to fling it on somebody else.
Well, your brother's like, you aimed at me. I was like, no, I didn't. I went forward. I went here to the side.
Greg, what a baby.
So I end up grabbing it almost and like flicking it off my face, but I have to grab it in order to do it.
Oh my gosh.
So for a 0.0001 second, I'm holding it in my fingers till I drop it on the ground, in which case your brother goes, where? And steps on it for me. But you can ask him. Even he was shocked. It was huge.
Oh my gosh.
I have a couple questions.
Yes.
Where did it come from?
Right. Walking underneath the trees to the coffee shop.
It just landed down on you. The top
her
of your
hair
head
was like a nest or something.
Kind of. It's
What
like,
kind
that's
of
a mane I'm
spider?
getting into. So it had really long legs and stuff. So I'm not really sure, but its body was really big too. It was not a daddy long leg. It was not. I would
Was it
like
a
to
wolf
say that
spider,
it could have been a wolf spider.
Yeah.
Its legs looked a little bit longer than a wolf spider to me. It looked more brown recluse.
Oh God.
Yeah, so I really would rather not talk about this. But so you should have seen,
I'm
honestly.
getting sick just thinking about
So
it.
what you should have seen the dynamic between her and I for the next, I don't know, 5 minutes. I wonder if she got into trouble. By the way, shout out, girl. You were a champion for telling me.
Lifesaver.
Seriously. And so we just sit there looking at each other, and now my eyes are bigger than hers, and we're just staring at each other now, and both of our mouths are hanging open. And how do you even proceed after that?
I'll
Greg's
take a
like-
tall mocha, please.
I'll have a large mocha, extra hot breve. So she ends up like, oh
She
my
literally just
gosh.
called out her actual order. That's
That
it.
is- So- and they'll know me by that maybe too. No, I'm sure it's pretty popular. But anyway, so like it was Greg was like, I know you're like animals follow you and you're like Snow White, but that's ridiculous.
No,
and I
that
was
is
like,
ridiculous.
8-legged creatures can definitely stay away.
Fuck
Yeah.
off, spider.
Yeah, no.
Flick off.
And then
Flick
of course,
off.
and then I go through guilt. I'm like, did we have to kill it? It could have bit my face.
Wait,
and it
wait,
didn't.
wait. We don't have guilt when it comes to snakes or spiders.
And that's what your brother says. And that's what Greg said. Yeah, that I shouldn't.
don't do that.
But
We don't have guilt for
inside, I'm
that.
kind of like, that dude could have bit my face if he wanted to. And he let me fling his body on the floor and be stomped on.
Yeah, no pity.
I have this area in my backyard that no sprinkler reaches. So you literally have to drag a freaking hose over there to water this area. And I'm like standing in my backyard and I'm like, ugh, it's time to water the birds of paradise over there. These poor things.
Why?
So
Oh,
I'm
because
like,
you can't reach it and you have to spray it? Is that why?
the sprinklers turn this way and they're planted against the shop. So there's like 10 of them that are just croaking over. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to water them. So I'm like barefoot out there and I'm like spraying my feet because the cement is hella hot. And then I'm like spraying these as I swear a spider jumped at me and
my
landed
gosh.
on my pants.
Oh my goodness.
I died.
Seriously, I think I died too.
Yeah.
Did I meet you in heaven afterward? I did. Seriously, I left my body for a moment.
All 3 dogs are like staring at me.
I'm so
as
sorry.
I freaked out. And then my pants were black and I can't see.
So you can't see
I
where it went.
don't know where I'm getting this thing off of me. I'm freaking out. I'm getting like
Oh,
naked
no.
at my back door because I don't want this. Yeah, it was a horrible. I hate spiders too.
I hate them.
Yeah.
It's literally terrible.
It's like the worst thing ever. It set my day. I just kept going back to it. Like, I seriously cannot believe that just happened to me. Of
Yeah.
all people of it happening to, it happens to me. Because
Why not Greg? No.
seriously, why? We have spiders at our house and somehow they find their way to my stuff, not his stuff. So he always goes, they follow you. You smell good. And I'm like, I could be without that. That's
Yeah.
all right. So anyway, last thing I wanted to tell you about the next thing we are all going to, Kiko's. Kiko's, you know, we talked about Mediterranean food.
Not Kinko's.
No.
Oh yeah, I thought
Not
she said
Kinko's.
Kinko's too. I was like, we're gonna go copy
super,
shit over there.
super luxury
This is
Are we
printing.
not
gonna
a workcation.
laminate? Yeah,
It's not a
laminate.
workation for me.
She's like,
Right.
I had the best experience
At
at
Kinko's.
Kinko's.
So we're talking about a vacation. Yeah, we're talking about working, but not that kind of. So it's called Kiko, Kiko, Kiko Peruvian restaurant. So we talked about Mediterranean, and we even went and experienced a bunch of. We do that a lot. Listen, like seriously, move over. I'm not even joking to you when I tell you that this restaurant went out on a limb to serve us food that they had been working on since the crack of dawn, and their old recipes. They came here, and I'm serious. Between Kiko and Desiree, the owners, they run the whole place. Also, they have their chefs and their prep cooks and things like that, and their bussers, which were amazing. But no joke, the hospitality, but the food alone. I have never in my life experienced anything like that.
Oh, I cannot wait.
It was
I'm
so
like, what?
It was so clean.
Aunt June,
I can't-
please.
I know, Aunt June, pretty please. We'll do one episode from there, so we'll stay like 5 days or something.
Dude, let's do like 5 episodes. Let's
Yeah, right?
like take it on the road.
Yeah.
Can we do one at Scotch, you think? That'd be kind of fun with our little, remote ones.
With what? Oh, Scouts.
Yeah, Scouts, sorry.
Yeah,
I call
yeah,
it Scots, didn't I?
We could do Scouts, but we could. I can get us into our winery, our Hearst Winery, so we can be right
Oh,
there.
that'd
That
be great.
overlooks the beach and stuff like that. So
Rad.
we could do all that, and we could go have champagne cake at Madonna Inn, and then go hot tubbing at the hot springs.
Can we get hammered? Can we get hammered?
Every day. I'm just joking. I'm just joking.
I think
I'm
we'll
just
call
kidding.
this one Girl-cation.
Girl-cation. Bye,
Yes.
boys.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Bye, boys. We'll talk to you later.
Anyway, I'll post my little itinerary down below, and you all can check it out in case you decide to visit Slow County.
Thank you for joining us today on Rooted Warriors. Remember, your weight loss journey is unique to you. It's all about finding your balance and embracing the process with love and grace. Keep celebrating even the small wins. Stay rooted in your truth and trust that you are on the path to becoming the very best version of yourself. Till next time, this is Mighty Mo. Feel blessed, be blessed.